Worried about how the SAT will impact your child's college goals? Our proven 10-week program covers everything and even stress-busting strategies. Your team can step into the test ready and prepared to reach their full potential. Our average improvement on the SAT is 150 points, with improvements as significant as 350 points and near perfect scores. We cover all 20 themes for the reading and writing section, as well as all 36 themes for the math section. The reading and writing section is very theme-based, so we'll utilize our 26-page Triple T document, Tom's Testing Tips, for this section to be able to quickly identify the specific theme the student is being tested on, as well as how to systematically approach the question to rapidly get the correct answer. I also provide students with access to my Quizlet flashcards so they can immediately recognize how each theme's question is worded. And I provide key tips like this one that transforms questions that College Board classifies as level hard into ones that anyone can approach with confidence. So here's how this tip plays out. Notice how I say if one option is different from the other three, in other words, the only one treating the subject as singular or plural, it's likely the correct answer option. So what I tell my students to do is either put the pronoun it or they before each answer option and see which one's different. For example, we would say, it hasn't been. You wouldn't say they hasn't been. It isn't. It wasn't. But they aren't. Well, look at that. The one that's different from the other three ends up being the correct answer, D. For the very content-driven math section, I provide thorough instruction for all 36 themes, but I also provide my students with the ability to conserve time and mental energy by utilizing our 23 Spotlight SAT graphing calculator programs to quickly and easily solve certain problems. For example, watch how quickly I can find the area of the sector through my program sector, and find the distance between these 2 points with my program distance. In addition to these 2 graphing calculator programs, I provide my students with 21 other amazing ones, all of which are permitted on the test, and enable students to save time, avoid silly errors, and reserve their mental energy for the more challenging questions, ultimately giving their score the bump they need. To ensure my students successfully go from theory to mastery in between the weekly 1-hour classes, I provide them with 4 homework assignments each week, each of which has the exact same timing and number of questions as the modules they'll complete on the real digital SAT. In fact, the platform we use is essentially identical to the digital SAT platform, with all the same tools available, so that students will have already experienced it dozens of times before the day of the actual test. After your child completes their practice assignments, not only will they be able to see the answer explanations for all the ones they got wrong, but you both will be able to see detailed analytics regarding which themes they're still struggling with via their unique progress report link, so they can dial in on their exact deficiencies. For all 462 math practice questions they'll complete over their 10 weeks with me, I've personally recorded step-by-step worked out solution videos showing exactly how I'd approach the question, as well as how to utilize any applicable graphing calculator programs. I know your child has a rigorous course load and a busy schedule with extracurriculars, so I make our program extremely structured via their 2 weekly practice schedule checklists. One for reading and writing weeks, and another for math weeks. Their weekly homework consists of 4 days that take an hour each day, and 1 day that takes 15 to 25 minutes to complete. The mental side is also a critical component of test taking. That's why I assign them on day 5 each week 5 minutes of reading our Test Stress Success Manual PDF book. That's also why every single week we start our class by showing one of my mind mastery strategies of the week, each of which is a 1 to 3 minute video I created regarding a simple but effective psychological tool students can utilize on the SAT, in their regular classes, and in everyday life. Our class meets for an hour. Students can attend live in person at our office at Tinkin and Rochester in Rochester Hills, Michigan, live via Zoom, or if there's ever one or multiple sessions the student can't attend live, they can watch the recorded session that we upload the very same day, so they can watch it at their earliest convenience and not miss a beat. Students get lifetime access to our Spotlight SAT platform, even long after they've successfully completed our class, so they can go back to it anytime they're reviewing for another test date. To see if my teaching style and the format of my SAT small group program is the right fit for your child, click below to gain immediate access to one of my mind mastery strategy videos, one of my 36 math modules, one of my 23 graphing calculator programs, and one of my 20 reading modules for free. Let's do this.